W up on the board. csgo down here towards connector, annihilated straight away there from xantares.
Perfect shot. Opening advantage immediately taken by Eternal Fire and should go on from there. Maki next up in towards connector. Nori caught by the likes of Calix, who swings back for the double. And there you go. You mentioned him being a stellar element on this map, and certainly he just proved it right there with a stellar play.
And Chanky has to try and see if he can find a response with that P250 out here towards T-Cons. And Torres does get goosed into the process. There is one kill to come through from Jexy, but that seems like it's going to be entirely that round going the way of Eternal Fire. One casualty, everybody else being quite successful, not even getting close towards a bomb site. So, Eternal Fire looking to try and go 2-0, 3-0, and just keep extending that lead for as long as possible.
Brilliant shots, these pistols. All to be proud of there for Calix, especially. And again, good solid start for Eternal Fire. Nothing really in that one for the Redpack camp. As you mentioned, not even getting close towards really the default positions. The closest they got to the bomb site was out towards short pipe, really. So I hope that's not a standard to be set by the T's going forward. Basic pistol eco should be dealt with by the guns. At least Eternal Fire giving them a respect for taking a little bit of mid control, but all a bait and switch into the trap laid by xantares and woxic. 2 kills for the M4, 3 for the SMG. Plenty of cash gain, and still all 5 alive. No casualty taken by Eternal Fire in that last round. Redpack go towards the guns very quickly here.
And it's incredible to think that xantares has been a part of Eternal Fire for over 2 years now. It doesn't feel like it's been a massive amount of time since Eternal Fire got built up from a new project and that he's involved in the organization structure. 2 years. I mean, he's been very loyal to his previous teams because it was pretty much just Space Soldiers and Big.
And extended tenures with both of them, if I recall correctly.
Oh, Space Soldiers, he was out there for an extremely long time. And Big as well. He was there for, what, a good year and a half, 2 years maybe?
I have 2 years, 8 months down on my side.
Really? That's longer than I even thought it was. Yeah, okay.
December 2018 to August 2021.
So that's the thing, right? Is that sometimes the time just goes so quickly, unnoticed.
Yeah. Staple element. Now here of the Eternal Fire side. Positions pressed on, the starting advantage, of course, gained in part thanks to his efforts. Doesn't quite win out the fight in mid. Chanky instead starting things off for the T side. Can woxic trade it? He'll see the shoulder, and indeed he will be able to do so. Secondary swing also dealt with nice and fast for the advantage of Eternal Fire.
Yeah, csgo just tries to get that trade back, but without any utility, without a flash going further, it's just a dry peek, and woxic's even seen another individual out there towards a long control. Bring that rotation up from Calix to play 2 up to the A site now.
Oh, next player seen, including the bomb out towards mid. Start the press forward in from Monster from the 2 players playing out towards B. Check their positions and ensure that nobody make their press on the CT side. 17 seconds, and Wacadia has caught Jexy. Now down to 2 individuals. Swing back on Maki. No further respect given up to Redpack. Nori can get at least 1 pick to return, but Calix there for the responsive, and Eternal Fire will make it 3 on the trot.
And I think a lot of people are going to look at this entire whole event itself and look at Redpack and Zero Tenacity as being the weaker teams. For Redpack, they've only played 5 maps on HLTV, which was the entire event of Res Season 5 in the last 3 months. For Zero Tenacity, they've got nearly 100 maps on record in the last 3 months on HLTV. Yes, there was a head-to-head between the 2 teams that went the way of Redpack, but there's a very difference of caliber and experience and game time playing up to this sort of level between the 2.
It's always going to be the concern for this squad. Redpack, a lot to face, and very little in backing to be able to face it. Eternal Fire done so well so far in the early portion of the matchup and should be able to do well here as well. Only pistols out on the T side. The Deagles and Tech-9, at least a little bit of extra firepower to try to take some heads off the shoulders of the CT forces, but being given very few opportunities to do so here in round 4.
Yeah, no one overextending the mark out here to the short control either. Wacadia is maintaining that eye up towards a boost. The bean can, as they like to call it. I'm not sure if you ever call that, Jay. Not sure
don't
why
call it
that's a
that, no.
thing. Yeah, I really don't know why, but
It doesn't look like a bean can.
No, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the shape of it when there's two of you. Of any can.
I'm not convinced.
No, me neither.
Oh. Should be convincing round here for Eternal Fire. 30 seconds for Redpack to press on the jump face to see the player out towards long, the AWP with the utility down to support xantares. Bomb plant will be very nice here for all the pistol players, but they are getting mowed through by these guns. They do get one back, so there's the deagle of Nori and Jexi able to strike into a 3-on-3. Close quarters against WOXİC, trying to close the gap to the AWP. He's seen where one man is, though. We'll call it out. The truck engagement from Wicadia gets the head with the spray. And all left to csgo to do all the rest of the work in a 1-on-3. I believe that bomb plant is open at the front side of Dice, so he'll try and fight back against them. Plant. Now onto the diffuser. Smoke comes down. The kit player of WOXİC actually loses his backup and Majer, so respectable damage being done there by Redpack. But it's still a 4-0 here for Eternal Fire.
I don't think any of these rounds are going to catch my attention until they actually look winnable. Like, you look at that one, you say, okay, it's a bomb plant, it's a few casualties, you're dropping AKs, you're trying to put some economical damage up to your opposition. Those are all true, and those are all points to go the way of Redpack, but they need round victories. And so far, we haven't seen many leans out to the B site, we haven't seen many opening kills from them, haven't seen many rifle rounds. You wonder how quickly some tack pauses are going to start raining in here for the T side, because this could be an extremely slow start to a T side of overpass.
They have put a chink in the armor of Eternal Fire with the economy being deficited by those 3 casualties, but now they have to follow it up. Already damage has come into the opening contact of Naughty and Wicadia. Effective peeks in from the Monster position from both sides of B and Monster itself. xantares, heavy pressure here into upper con. And he's got some backup utility as players, his teammates putting some nades in against csgo, who will go down to the AK spray. Second swing, doesn't see anything out there in connector. It's all at the short and pipe position, and one man in from mid.
Now, Mackey's got to try and make an establishment out here towards Monster because they need something. It's been re-smoked off. xantares is hearing that relocation from A main, so that's going to tell them, okay, it's probably going to be a regroup out to B. And look at the rotations already. They've stacked up B completely.
Incendiary is held. Backstab closing in. Jexi is just about evaded contact with that smoke. Wicadia being faced upon the behind the toxic barrels and another smoke. He'll be absolutely fine. xantares closes in those pincers, drops the bomb carrier. Mackie barely evading the M4 spray, able to get Wicadia for it, but WOXİC there for the responsive. Calyx dealing with the player on site. Janky, all that remains, making noise on short, will now be called in by the CT forces. Has no vision, no breathing room, and no time. This will be 5 for Eternal Fire.
This is looking extremely comfortable right now for the Turkish squad. You can feel right there that info play was just immense. Not only does it catch the reposition from T-Con, but it allows 4 players to go down towards B. And I think if you are Redpack, you have to be looking at this entire situation just thinking, what can we adjust on the team play aspect? I think being a little bit more aggro, being a bit more individual and playing with some high confidence of taking fights within the first 15, 20 seconds of the round has to be the play. I think if you slow it down, if you work out a default, you are going to get pummeled because Eternal Fire have got better protocols than you do.
Just in general, they've got better individual players as well. Mentioned obviously xantares as being a man that has been at the top end of the scene, playing for big in tier 1 environments, has an S-tier trophy underneath his belt. And that's just one guy. Redpack. Have anyone to mount up to that particular potential, so playing his comfortable style, playing your own way really is the only way that they're going to find anything against Eternal Fire, and so they'll try that. They will half invest to, well, I guess actually this is going to be a full investment, but a Mat 10 still for Nori actually comes up good against Majer, so a little bit of close quarters combat dealt with by Calyx, and Wicadia comes up good against Jexi, doubles up onto csgo and triples up onto Mackie the same. Chanky, once again, all that remains.
Just left alone in another very uncomfortable situation. What a round coming through from Wicadia. Getting 3 kills, not even being traded. Doesn't quite get that quadra in the end. It will be woxic to take the kill away. And I mean, it's an opportunity to even talk about someone like Majer. I would say that he's probably the most, or one of the most experienced IGLs that we have in the Tier 2 atmosphere. Played 1.6, played for a very long time in CSGO with both French teams and Turkish teams. I mean, even the new head coach, I say new, he's been here nearly a year, was actually a 1.6 player in the Turkish scene and played a decent level in the Turkish scene in CSGO as well.
Well, the Turkish super team for a good reason. All the notable names, all the great players of this nation are using it to decimate the region that Redpack comes from. 2 quick AWP picks already, dropping the 1 rifle that they had here on the T side. Calyx now striking out long, seeing Jexy take a Sergo, and Chanky should be quick to follow suit. Always the last man to go down here for the Redpack side. At least takes one with him, but surely should not find much else.
7-0 for Eternal Fire. And I think, I mean, it's been an intriguing project, and I think it's gone through very different directions of success. I mean, you think about the original lineup, Issa was actually on the team, and they were communicating in English for a little bit. And you had guys like Paz and Engine, who we've also known from the Space Soldiers days, that were participating on this roster in this iteration. I mean, imorr has actually been transitioned to a full-time streamer for Eternal Fire now.
Another man from that ex-Space Soldiers era.
I don't think so. Not imorr.
Wasn't he?
No. He was more sangal. I think it was
was
later that he came in.
And regardless, Eternal Fire have utilised him the best that they can, and now they've got their new elements to try and figure things out. Cody had a moment in that previous round, currently 7 picks deep to match up to the mid-fraggers of his team. Chanky, however, was to give him no further progress. Quick burst of that swing forward, the AK of the T-side, winning an opening fight. Now, can they turn it into a round? They certainly look to do so. Smokes come up. Calyx backs up here at the pillar, able to get one before he's traded. Nades are sent a little bit further back at Chanky, so it's still going to be an advantage here for Redpack. Very little damage done in return.
They set up a huge info play of a double backstab, but they're actually going to split up. Majer's going to come through from Con, and xantares is going to come out from Monster.
xantares catches Jexy with an AWP shot missed in the midst of that smoke. 3-on-3. Sergo and Nori seeing Majer up on that short control. Swings for the quick burst through the headshot. woxic and xantares backed up. Swing forwards. xantares can double in. Bring it back to a 2-on-2. The AKs hold their crossfire. xantares has some more. Checks the cubby. Chanky takes it, but woxic takes it right back. Has plenty of time for this defuse, and Eternal Fire will continue their streak straight into the 8-0 in a row.
And that's a shame there from Redpack, because that actually looked like that was the first time this entire game that they were actually going to be able to score a round. That first kill, I think it was just a straight spam in from Monster from Chanky. And repositions were quite late there for Eternal Fire, but in the end, I mean, xantares, it's just the crosshair placement. It's the ability to just instantly get those kills. I mean, out towards Monster, I think we both probably would have given the advantage to the AWP there in that position.
Both those individuals top fragging for Eternal Fire right now. Far and beyond Redpack are doing as a team. Majer finally gets his first kill on the board. He hasn't really needed to do much in terms of that in-server impact. He's calling perfectly for this side. xantares will follow suit as well onto Jexy in from mid. These AKs picked apart pretty easy.
And again, it shows the difference that the rest Season 5 event had, that we didn't get Aurora topping the group. It would have, for me, been a 100% confirmation that Aurora and B&E get their place forward. But you got to give the benefit of the doubt to the teams that upset and cause opportunities forward. And that's exactly what Redpack were able to do to get this position.
4-on-3 situation thanks to that one trade. Matthew boosted to find the frag. Molotov down to his position. He is still going to find a spray successful against Calyx. Only 7 points of health left for the man, though, so shouldn't be much left in an attack. His teammates got to do the heavy lifting, and Chanky will grab that bomb, start the rotate back into mid.
Yeah, they've still got xantares and woxic alive, and now making noise out here towards Banana's going to force that rotation. woxic can come up. He can even deny the bomb from going down, or at least put a HE on.
A little bit late to the mark to take the face on with the AWP. His position over at Bank is going to leave that utility with very little of options. Mackie close, dealt with. There's the shot. Nori dealt with all the same. woxic with a 2K, and xantares is there to close. Those two highlight stars of Eternal Fire right now. Working well into the retake and finding number 9 for the CT side.
I can't believe woxic hasn't died yet. I really thought it was going to be right there at Bank to get the 1-for-1 trade for Redpack. 17-0. Now I just want to know if he could do an entire half or maybe even an entire best of 1 without dying.
Let's find out.
No, I've said it. I mean, it's just going to be round number 10, isn't it?
Well, even if he gets 1 death at this stage, his performance has been stellar. Eternal Fire. Going for number 10, and even more so. Secured 9 in a row. Do not want to let this streak go against the Redpack side. They are trying to slow things down on the T-Forces, trying to force Eternal Fire to make a mistake, but that's just not happening here. You said you wanted to see them play a little bit more looser, a little bit more of their own style, not play out the slow defaults, because Eternal Fire can still find the picks, and that has been the case throughout the match so far, and it will be the case here for round 10 as Mackie goes down to Major.
Yeah, to be honest, from this point onwards, there actually isn't much that you can adjust in real time. You're getting destroyed. You're getting absolutely pumped. Every fight is going the way of Eternal Fire. There's very few chances. I think we've only seen 1 round in this first half that looks winnable. Chanky, try the walkout from Monster, hope to catch a decent timing, but the jump spot from Arcadia has already spotted him.
Arcadia's not going down here either. Got plenty of backup at the back lines at Water. He will keep his eyes set, sprays through Major. Everything pushes in from these smokes. Finally, Arcadia's going to get forced back, and actually does get pushed into the hands of an AK, which does find a kill to return. Still an advantage, now extended by woxic and xantares. Major goes down in turn, but xantares ain't messing around. He wants to catch up to woxic's numbers and try and take that frag count back in his favor. Free to his neck.
Cohesion. Aggressive play out here towards long. woxic with the AWP already catches the opener.
Perfect landing. Again, the start for Eternal Fire. Redpack trying to press these rifles and this pistol in on Chanky. xantares should deal with Chanky next, and Calyx reveals himself to a bit of detriment to the CT forces as they do find woxic in the end by rushing around that corner. xantares is also traded. Calyx is so quick to respond. csgo caught completely flat-footed in that exchange, and Nori now has a lot to do. A 1-on-3.
Out here to the jump spot from Major's already spotted. Bomb on the back. He's got 2 players on A to deal with, and as soon as there's contact, that's when Calyx can rotate into position.
Caught by Arcadia instead. Slight gap there at the exhaust pipe and the truck itself, and one that spray is as effective as appropriate as you want it to. 11-0. Redpack. This position had very few chances of making anything work left in this matchup, and we hope that we would find a decent performance from these boys, an opportunity to just keep it close. But so far, this has not been close at all, and you will get these kind of matches sometimes, and well, I can't say it could be too unexpected at this stage.
No, not at all. Arcadia just dropping a smoke in front of Toxic and the pillar. Good counter utility out to this monster control, and already there's 3 CTs here locked and ready to fight.
One of which loses his fight. Mackie engaging, trying to double up against Arcadia, who says, no thank you, sir. Major also involved to say no thank you to 2 more players. He has lost a couple of teammates. But still, Eternal Fire hold the bomb site until xantares went down in heaven. So it's a 2-on-2, still workable for Redpack. They are trying to find these angles that Eternal Fire are not ready for, and Major was not ready for Chanky swing for the 2K. Now it's woxic all alone. He has gone down at last, but his 1 death may be his only death still. The pick onto the first, now down to 1 more player on Redpack.
Now, woxic is anticipating that there's going to be a walk forward and a fight presenting itself. Now, he can actually put down both the HE and the molly as soon as he hears the bomb going down.
He'll take the directive fight instead. Might not be aware of the utility he's got. Pushed up too far forward at this stage, though, to make use of it. Or in, shot missed, and maybe he should have put a little bit more into that round. The Jexi will finally break the streak and secure the first for Redpack.
Well, there we go. That's at least a positive feeling coming through from Redpack, and you can laugh it off. I mean, they realise that this group stage is going to be incredibly tough for them, so you've got to take the positives where they come. You haven't been 16-0'd in your opening game. Eternal Fire, though, I mean, they're going to be right back into the bye. And they're going to be right back on looking at making this a 14-1 half and a 16-1 end of the entire best-of-1.
So unique to hear you entertaining the idea of a 14-1, 16-1 sort of scoreline.
I mean, how can you not?
Just goes to show how different the caliber of teams involved in this matchup are. And again, it's not to be unexpected. Eternal Fire consistently in the tier 2 environment, doing well in certain periods, even now that they've been in a bit of a slump by comparison to their previous peak. Against Redpack is still higher than where they've been so far. Such a early lifespan team. They have been picked apart on 2 players so far here in round 13. Mackey's trying to fight back, but it's all in vain. As Wicadia and swing back to the spray thanks to the assisted damage of Majer and the incendiary nade. And it's a 4-on-2 for Eternal Fire.
I think for even Monty going into the next game, you just have to make sure you're not playing Inferno and you're not playing Mirage against Redpack. And no matter what other 5 maps in the pool it's going to be, you're going to have the advantage. You're going to be able to put a lot of pressure back onto them. A separation of the T-side players. csgo's got long control, but even the bomb to relocate up, he's got to clear a lot of this area. Be worried about Connector as well.
Got to make some breathing room. Seen the AWP of WOXİC, but unable to connect to the man, unable to fire off a shot quick enough, and not like Eternal Fire need to continue facing. Redpacker, 15 seconds to get that bomb pushed all the way up long and into the bomb site. Taps forward, man's been seen, but Redpacker out of time. And this round is going the way of Eternal Fire once again.
And just straight back into it. You go into round 13 and not competitive whatsoever. And I actually do want to say that Redpack would have had a decent chance of at least showing ability in the first half if they started on the city side. If they won that knife round. I mean, it's the worst case scenario. You're playing a map of Overpass that you haven't got many officials under. You know you're not going to get a veto advantage. And you're starting on the T side. It's never going to be solid at all. We could have seen I don't want to say a much different game, but we would have seen a better performance from Redpack if they started CT for sure.
The way this is turning out, looking into the CT side of the second half, is not going to be all that encouraging for Redpack. At least they're starting to win some of these fights. Mackie getting Calyx, another opening jewel that goes the way of the T's. They have taken some damage back on the man, and Jexi down to 24 HP on the long challenge. With that pick, Eternal Fire are listening for footsteps, aware that there may be a boost in play. Wicadia hiding behind that smoke to evade it. Peek forward to look for the man. The nades are doing well to chip away at the HP bars of Mackie and Chanky. And they haven't found a second kill for their efforts.
Now, woxic is still jump spotting out towards A, not seeing anything towards the front side of the bathrooms or out there towards Divider. There is a bit of a lurk, though. csgo's been able to get all the way up towards Headshot, and if he's able to drop the AWP on the side directly, that could be huge.
Oh, xantares wins the fight instead. Mackie down to a 4-on-4. woxic. Focus fire here on the A side. Just jump facing for information has been heard here by csgo, and actually, it's Jexi, the man to get the pick in. The AWP watching for the jump face, successful with it. Chanky follows suit on Wicadia, catching him off being overly aggressive, and now it's xantares and Majer to try and clutch this retake. xantares flanked, and now Majer left in a 1-on-4.
Oh, right there, you have a very good luck and an extremely strong timing. We know that woxic's been jump spotting DICE and APC pretty much the entirety of this first half, and all you need to catch is that window of opportunity of a walk forward when he's not jump spotting at the right position. And as soon as you get that kill onto the AWP, it opens up the A site completely. Majer should get hunted. There's a backstab out on B. There's players very close towards him at heaven. And this M4 is not going to survive.
Caught, tagged up, trying to sneak past Nori. Going to round 15, Eternal Fire still have enough cash to sustain their buys. Dropping weapons back and forth should be able to work it out in the end. One SMG for Majer. But not a major loss, I don't think, for Eternal Fire in this buy-up. Still got the M4 on xantares, still got the AWP on woxic, still got Redpack. Facing into a significant deficit at 12-2. Last round of the half, Eternal Fire would love to make it 13. Redpack almost needs to make it 3. And Mackie almost needs to win that fight. He doesn't quite hold on for the trade. Majer with a responsive. And xantares might find a cheeky angle against the AWP.
And starting to hear these footsteps out towards Park. And front bathroom smoke being lined up. This will not be cleared whatsoever.
xantares, double up, not quite secured, but Jexy caught off by woxic instead. His swing forward, Majer follow suit on Chanky with the blind sprays. And Naughty all alone. Well out of position. Well out of chances in this round and well out of the round itself. This will be a 13-2 half for Eternal Fire. Redpack doing very little to resist the favourites, unfortunately unable to mount up to the sheer amount of fire down the road. 11 in the lead for Eternal Fire, who have already goosed down Jexy and caught him off on xantares' part. Advantage, Eternal Fire. First blood drawn for the T side. The bomb should commit towards the bomb site. One man out towards Bank. Should get flashed off blinded. Not quite engaged upon yet, although has been seen by woxic as the bomb goes down to 5-on-4.
Yeah, woxic in the off angle. woxic to peek with him. xantares to fight out from Dice as well. And already, calyx gets another kill to make it a 5v3.
Naughty down. Mackie and csgo caught off with damage. Hesitant, struggling to find their picks in. They have caught one. There's calyx down and out of the round. Still got woxic here at the truck to swing upon one of the casualties taken by woxic, who doubles up the same. Makes it 14-2 with Eternal Fire claiming the pistol.
Now, Redpack needing at least anything from this point onwards just to be able to go down with something. Eternal Fire have come into this entire best of one. They have not been tested. And unfortunately for Redpack, I mean, even Monty in that elimination game, the draw gets harder for them.
Yeah. As we said before, neither of these teams want to be down in that elimination game against Monty, and Redpack certainly seem like the most likely to be in that position. They have got a lot of work to do to try and even contest at this kind of a level. SMG battles in connector, still one out by Majer. At 30 HP, connected 2 extra frags for the 3k overall. Finally put down by a deagle. Right now, Jexy has been seen. calyx now actually losing woxic. That's not encouraging. This deagle's doing all that he can, but calyx and Chanky got back in. woxic struggles to win the fight, 15 seconds, and all Chanky's got to do is run for it, hold out some harder cover Dominion. Molotov sent his general direction as the bomb is picked up, but the engagement looks to be the fight to woxic to win it. And Chanky, known in the fire, connecting one good dink.
Mentally ready on the server, because this game, in comparison to the winner's game, is going to be a completely kettle of fish.
Already one man down, scout out in mid. woxic follows suit. woxic with another one. And that mid and long presence has been wiped off the face of the earth by Eternal Fire. Even Majer, Mac 10 on Jexy. Another one in connector. And Chanky with a world of work to do and literally nothing to do it with. MP9 versus 5. His teammates have done 3 points of damage to the entire T-side force. And woxic is there, ready for the killing blow. His teammates might have to be the ones that actually get the killing blow. And there it is, Majer with the closer. 16-2.